Go for it.
I'd like to open this meeting of the Bisbee Arts Commission on Monday, July 10th, 2023 at 5:33 p.m. First thing, roll call.
Okay, Bill Higgins.
Here.
David Newfield is excused. Holly Priestley.
Here.
Janet Reynolds.
Here.
Angela Rockefeller is excused. Karen Schumacher.
Here.
Tracy Taylor.
Here.
And Leslie is not here. Okay.
And we do not have an audience this evening, so we will move to item 1, approval of the minutes of the June 5th, 2023 meeting. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve. I second.
Say the whole sentence.
I move to approve the minutes of the June 5th, 2023 meeting.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right. That's it. All ayes? Aye. Any nays? Thank you. I know, that's why they got tired of us not saying the whole thing, so they wrote it at the bottom.
Thank you.
I know, Jana was just saying how much she liked that.
That was Nina, totally Nina.
Yeah, Nina fixed us.
Mm-hmm.
Item 2, discussion and possible approval of a date and budget for the proposed social media class at Copper Queen Library. I put this on here for Holly. You were going to talk to the library. Did you get a chance to yet? Or?
I have been trying. We're going back and forth.
So you're still,
for next meeting.
you're still figuring it out?
Yes.
That's fine. And just so that everybody knows, the expectation of getting things done in the summer is fairly low here. Yeah. Not just at the Arts Commission, but the entire town. Because it's just hard to, also you can see somebody that you usually really like and suddenly they are a sociopath because they're so hot. So then we'll just leave it for the next one.
Sounds good. Next.
Really, we're not looking for anything till the fall anyway.
Yeah.
Do you need any help getting, are you talking to
Allison.
Allison?
I talked to Jason.
You talked to Jason?
I talked to Jason.
Jason said yes.
Jason already said yes.
Yeah, it sounds like Allison doesn't have a problem with it. We're going back and forth on the
schedule?
availability.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, when you talk to her and after that, if you come up with some dates and then think about what you need from us budget-wise.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
probably budgets for like flyers and stuff.
Flyers.
Or something else.
Yeah. Puppies.
Puppies?
Puppies?
There will definitely be puppies.
Does anybody have anything else to say about that at the moment then?
Do we have to table that or?
No, I don't think so, right?
Nope, we'll just
Okay,
bring it
good.
back up.
Item 3, discussion regarding the repair of the old Bisbee bulletin board. I'm laughing because I talked to Ashley about this today, and I'm supposed to tell you a story. So now it is story time.
Story time.
In 2019, I wanted to fix the bulletin board in front of the library. And I asked the city if I could fix it, and at that time, the public works director said, no, that's not your responsibility, and we'll fix it. I won't say who the name was. 6 months later, they came back to us and said, we don't know how to fix your bulletin board, or fix the bulletin board, so can you guys fix the bulletin board? And I said, excellent, okay, we'll do it, thinking that this is going to be very easy. And so the natural choice to fix the bulletin board would be the person who built the bulletin board, which is Ben Dale, who built half the stuff that's downtown. And I think there was some issue where he made a proposal, it was fine, but he didn't want to give the city his information or something. There was a moment that once again it got stopped. And then he decided that he would do it, and he gave us a proposal. And he wanted to do he gave us 2 different proposals. One was just to fix the bulletin board. And the second one was to make it bigger. And he gave a very compelling reason why, and told me how easy it would be. And it was, I think, this is the part that gets very questionable because Ashley and I cannot figure out where we voted on it. Because the Arts Commission actually did vote on this, to spend somewhere around $5,000 to make the bulletin board bigger, which would involve cutting it in sections and making it still symmetrical. But Ashley and I both have looked everywhere and we cannot find where the city voted on letting us do it. But we know they did, and one of the reasons I know they did is because they took the telephone boxes out in preparation for this thing. So next thing that happened COVID.
What happened was.
COVID happened, and then it got pushed back again. There were like 5 or 6 things that just like kept on pushing it back. COVID pushed it back, and then the Arts Festival pushed it back because we were spending too much money. And so finally, we find ourselves here today in the new fiscal year, right? Where we have the money in the budget to fix it. Unclear what that money is, or how much exactly, but it also reminded us that we had to probably ask Bendel again how much it would cost, because from 2019 to 2023, we have now probably seen supplies go up. And so I wanted to give you guys this because this has been something we've been trying to do for a very long time. And it just gets put on the back burner, and I would personally really like for it to happen. And also because the city took out the, what's the stuff called? The cork, and didn't put it back because they thought we were gonna fix it. That's what I was told. They were like, well, the Arts Commission was gonna put new corkboard anyway, so now we probably should fix it. So Ashley and I decided that the best thing to do would probably be to ask Bendale how much it would cost again, put it on the next agenda, have us vote on it, it will go to council, and so, unlike some situations that we've had in the recent past, it will have gone through council at a reasonable amount of time, and no one will be shocked that the bulletin board is being fixed. You know, like there's no big surprises. Even if we don't legally have to redo it, we really probably should.
Yeah.
Does that
Been
make
a long
sense?
time.
Yeah.
But it's just been, I don't know why, it just won't happen. But I would like for it to happen. And so my question's for you. We find ourselves in the situation again. I am gonna call Bendale. He was setting aside time this fall to fix it. Does anybody think that changing the side of it is a problem?
Changing the size?
Size. Because I was just looking at it with Bill, and it's actually the area that it would accommodate is kind of perfect. There's like a post there. It would mean that I think that the bulletin board would be down for probably a few weeks, if not a month. Or we could just hire him to fix the bulletin board as it is. But it does need some restoration work, I think. Like it's rusty or I don't know. It's hard to get the cork in and out, which would be nice to make that really simple. So, does anybody have any questions about the bulletin board?
I don't have a question, but I like the idea of expanding it.
Anybody think that would be a problem with anyone? I was told that we don't have to go through Parks and Rec because it's not their jurisdiction. It is simply the jurisdiction of the city of Bisbee, and so if we get council to vote on it, it should be fine. We have the money. It is a significant amount of money. The way I can justify it is it seems to be our social media in this town, and also I think it will make everybody very happy. And people perhaps will stop complaining about some people putting too much stuff on the bulletin board, which does happen.
It's just, I mean, more space, more stuff, but.
Yeah, we have plenty of stuff going on.
Right.
And so it would become more of a focal point. It's a beautiful thing, so. Do you guys, if you're okay with it, I'll go ahead
Yes.
and get a new proposal. Yes, ma'am.
So my only question is timeline, because we don't want that down for very long.
Yeah, we don't want to, no, I think it's gonna be a few weeks.
That's,
Let me ask
let's
him,
not go through to like a few months.
which I'm not the chair, that's gonna take years, no, I'm just gonna.
I'm not talking about anything in particular, I'm just saying.
Oh, no, but I understand. Let me get
I'm just saying,
let
it's a
me
big
tell,
project.
let me tell him, and this was his plan. He knew that. He knew that it would upset people if it was down too long. And so he had a plan where he was gonna do most of the work at the studio and be able to bring it and take it apart, just take it apart, put it back together there. So it wouldn't have to be down very long. He had a whole thing going for that, so hopefully that's what he'll stick by. But let me ask him of a reasonable deadline.
Yeah, like, let's put it, maybe we put a time.
Maybe we'll tell him a reasonable
Maybe we'll put a
timeline.
time frame together for the work to be done, like anything else that, I'm just,
No, I think it's
because I
very,
would hate to have the city to have to field calls like, why is the bulletin board so down, you know, like that.
We did when everything got taken down.
yeah, and I think
originally.
that one of the things that we should do, that I will personally do, is put up signs that explain what is happening. Because it is one of those, even I called the city and asked if they were taking the bulletin board away. because I knew that it wasn't us for one. I was like, oh my God. That was really bad. And I had somebody track it down. But yeah, it's, I will tell them of a timeline. So what do we think is a reasonable timeline for it to be done? I mean, it's hard to,
I think it's hard, I don't wanna tie him in either, but I think that we need to really tell him that this cannot be a 6-month or 8 or 10-month project.
no, it needs to be a few weeks.
Right, like a month at the top.
Month top. Let's tell them that.
I think that would be beneficial for him to write a proposal around too, and he can figure it out. And
Oh,
what if
yeah,
we
he
ask
did.
him for 2
Who
proposals?
knows? Wait, that's the problem, is Ashley, I can't find it.
I can't find it on the agenda.
He wrote a proposal, he drew pictures. I went through so
But I
many agendas.
know it happened.
We all know it, yeah, it's like one of those, I don't know if it, I will ask him to write a new proposal.
What if he did 2,
Huh?
one that didn't account for a bigger size and one that did? Because
And that is exactly what he did last time.
But materials have really gone up
Yeah.
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on the things that I buy.
Yeah.
And so I can't even imagine like metal and wood and all that.
I mean, a sheet of plywood is like $100 now, where it used to be.
Well, what's shockingly expensive is also cork, which is one of the reasons why the city did not want to pay for it. It was really high,
Crazy.
you know. It was really high. So we will ask him to do both again. He did it before.
Maybe he saved it. And you could just plug in.
I think he gave me like copy of things he wrote on a piece of paper. But I'm hoping that what I can do is maybe I can actually find an agenda. It's just I went through a couple years worth.
Yeah, I went back
Yeah.
and I went back through all the council agendas.
Just gone,
It's somewhere. It's just really frustrating.
timed out and went to the ether.
Yeah, which will have, the city will disappear if we take the bulletin board away too long. So, yeah, so it's what's holding us all together. So I'll do that. 2 different ones, because it may be just cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
I think that he uses a lot of reused steel pipe, so that might save us, but let me see what he says. I know he's ready and willing to do it.
And can you do it in 30 days or less?
Yeah, let me see if that, does anybody else have any questions? So I think that'll just be, I mean, on a personal level I would be thrilled.
I would
And
be too.
on a Arts Commission level, I would feel like at least we did finally get it done, you know?
No, it's a beautiful piece, and it is lost right now. It really is, and it kind of is like in the center of the universe, and so people look at it and go,
Well, and that was one of the things, just as a side note, it still is under this agenda item, but one of the issues with public art is what the money it takes to take care of it in the future. You know, and I've always thought that about the murals too. We have some murals that are on, not necessarily on city property, but ones that are important to the city and that are not being taken care of. But it's so hard to find the right people to go in and touch them up, you know? They always worry about Bill's mural on the side of Circle K,
Ah,
you know? And things like that. As we go on in the years, what are we gonna do about them, you know? Because the Rose Johnson murals are priceless. So yeah, this is one of those too. And there's a lot more metal work that he's done in town that, you know, needs some work too. But like the pavilion, everybody loves talking about the pavilion. I've been trying to find money to fix the pavilion. It's something in City Park that the windows got knocked out of. It's like, that's like Grassy Park. It's the metal thing.
oh, yeah, yeah.
The windows got knocked out. The museum said that, you know, they try and help figure it out, because they rent that park, right? Sort of.
Well, we maintain it, it's our,
Yeah, it's one of those, whose jurisdiction, but,
yeah.
I will do what you requested and come back to you. I would love to see it happen.
Yeah,
with
that'd be
bulletin
great.
board. Anything else? I won't be as long-winded, that's just my one issue. Item 4, discussion regarding the art supply exchange on October 7th. We have made a poster. It is good. I'll send it to you.
Share it with everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know what's it.
We'll post it on the old bulletin board, or maybe the new bulletin board, we don't know.
Maybe both.
So that's, right now, July, August, September, so we're like 3 months out still. That's why we're all like a little, I love planning things way in advance. It's so much nicer. I think about 2 months before I'll make a Facebook invite for it, and then we'll go from there. Right now, people would just forget,
Right.
and they're deluded, you know, it's just too hot, so. And then we have already have approval to make posters and print them, so the city, we'll send it to the city
Yep.
when we're ready and print it out. And when we get it done with the logo, then we'll send you a copy and let you guys see it and everything. We'll bring it back to the next meeting and make sure that there's not something that we've forgotten. It's really simple.
Running into town the week before, sliding in.
Oh, you're getting back just in time
Get back just in time.
with that main glow.
It'll probably be more like.
Too many arts commissioners with main glows going on. Let's just enjoy it and bail the next month. I'm just jealous. Let me say that.
You have an invitation, you were invited. Just saying.
I have to train somebody to make hats. So art supply, and then Holly brought up a thing. Do you want to talk about it at all?
Sure. Rachel at the Object wants to do like monthly pop-ups for like art supply stuff, and she's talking to Posner's up in Tucson, the art store. I've got my press release here. She's talking to Posner's from Tucson, and they're gonna bring down some stuff, and she wants to make it maybe like a monthly thing. And so, do we want to hop on that and be a part of the art supply swap and the art supply pop-up situation happening there?
Is she doing
What
a
are the questions?
Is she doing a swap or is she just doing arts?
Both,
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a little, it's difficult because we're trying to plan a big one. isn't it?
Yeah.
And if we do, I mean, what I was hoping to, what we had all hoped to do and voted on, I think, or at least discussed, is to do one and then see how it goes and then do another one in a different location, right? And I think it'd be cool to do one in that location.
Yeah.
But like I said, we can't do anything this month because we have, it's on, we can't vote on anything about it. But I always want to support things like that. It's just, it gets confused. It gets very confusing. I'm not saying that people in Bisbee are simple-minded, I'd like to say, but it gets very confusing when there are multiple events doing the same thing.
Calling the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we had 2 farmers markets for a second almost killed us all.
So, since, I mean, we haven't started marketing or spending money on the one in October yet either, so maybe instead of doing like this big event, we support like the August, September, and like start small and see if that's good, and then maybe have a big one? Or do we wanna wait and do like the big one and like post about hers, if she posts about it and they support her that way? I think it's a good idea for all the artists in town.
For sure. I just, with the Arts Commission, I mean, at least on a, I think since we voted on having a big event, we should go along with the plan that we already did. And I'd love to support them in some way. I just don't know how exactly we would do that without it getting confusing.
Right.
Like I said, having an event, if we could host an event there in the future, like we could do one, months off and do the whole thing for her or there in that space, like different places in town, I think that'd be great. But since we already voted to have a big event, because the thing, the Arts Commission events usually are much larger than just,
Right.
so,
I think we need to see how it rolls out to do what we said we would do and get a response, see what that's like, and then move forward.
And is she doing used stuff or is she doing?
So if it's coming from Posner's, it'll all be new. But like sometimes, when she gets a shipment, she'll get things that she didn't order and they're like, I'll send that back. And then she's like, well, I don't want to sell it because I don't have it. And then she's gonna bring those.
She could just be encouraged to bring them in October.
She probably could be, but they're already working together and have this business
Yeah.
relationship, so I'm not gonna tell them not to do it.
I don't know.
no, I mean, I think because of the way that we voted, we have to go along with what we planned. But if she wants to come to us for support or something, then we definitely, I mean, we'll always post about anything going on in town. But switching gears at this point and going to a smaller event, the problem with the luxury and problem of the Bisbee Arts Commission is that we are under the jurisdiction of the city of Bisbee, so we can't plan anything last minute. As you know, everything has to get voted on so that the public can see what we're doing. So it's very hard to get anything together in a month or in a couple weeks, because we would have to have another meeting,
But we can support that.
Yeah.
We can support that event. her events.
Yeah, and I mean, if she wanted grant money, for instance, that would be a great way for us to support her, you know?
Cool.
I mean, if there's anything I'm saying you don't agree with, you're welcome to. I'm just trying to figure out how to not confuse people by doing both, you know? Or also late, short notice. I mean, the reason I'm not that, it's not just that I'm anal about planning something, starting to plan something 6 months or a year in advance, is because you know, even with the art festival, we had to meet twice a month to be able to get things done because we can't get anything done in between, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, think about it and see if there's a way that we can support her, you know?
We sure need art supplies in Bisbee.
Yeah, I think it's great, yeah. No, there are very few art supplies. But yeah, please, let her know, that we will definitely know, we can figure out a way that makes sense. It's also, there's only right now, I mean, at this rate, everybody's moving to Maine, so there's gonna be like 2 art commissioners left to help with events.
Okay, you are totally safe, you will never move there, because we've lived on the East Coast in the winter and want nothing to do with that.
No, I know, I was talking to somebody who was like, I'm moving to Pittsburgh, and I was like, wait for winter.
Shovels.
Everybody's talking, everybody in this town has been looking at property in Vermont without understanding exactly what they're trading off. So
Also not to mention the price of real estate in Vermont is ludicrous.
I know. So we're delusional, we're from the heat. All we have to do is wait a couple more weeks.
There's also no internet, so there's your argument. Winter, and Vermont has the worst cell service and internet service in the world.
Yeah. Sounds really great right now.
Yeah. Just saying.
No, yeah, so getting enough, I mean, it was like what David brought up, it was like getting enough volunteers every time. But if you figure out a way that you want to do it, we'll totally put it on the agenda and go from there.
And maybe it can just be like a cross marketing. Like we market hers, she can market ours. You know, like if you didn't get a chance to get to the drawing room, you'll have a chance in October, whatever, you know.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Because also there's a lot of
definitely,
people not here during this time of year that could benefit from it.
and that's the other thing.
Like, it's million.
We don't, I know, everybody talks about. We also, yeah, traditionally or historically, most organizations don't have a lot of things going on in summer because it's hard to get people to come out. Even, I mean, the farmer's market's probably fine, but
Farmers markets is quiet.
I know, because people are just like hiding in holes or something. So, but yeah, if we want to put it back on, let me know if you want to put it back on the agenda because then we'll have enough time to vote on something. That would be great. And she's not here, isn't she on, she's in California?
I think she's here now. She's probably in Maine. She's here now, but I think she's going to Maine at the end of the week.
I don't understand the Disney Maine connection.
The real estate is cheap and it's nice and cool in the summer. That's probably about it.
I'm so jealous. All right, die with jealousy. Yeah. So we will bring the poster back next time when we have a logo on it. I think we'll send it to you beforehand. And the other thing, so about 2 months before, we're talking about starting to put it on social media. The tables are set. We're set with you at the farmer's market. So yeah, it's just like a waiting game, kind of. And we can start pushing it on social media around that time. It's just people forget this far in advance.
Yeah. I think August, start doing it in August.
Yeah, it seems like when people start calming down
I can
again.
start putting it on ours in August, and I can let all the vendors know that's gonna be a thing, so they can add stuff.
And I'm glad it's October 2nd. I forgot which day. 'Cause Plain Air is the second weekend in October.
I think this is the first one. isn't
Yeah.
it? That's perfect, and just in time for planning. That's a little
Exactly.
marketing tool.
We have so many art supplies. I'm looking forward to it. Does anybody have any questions about the art supply exchange? Before I become off topic again. All right. Item 5. This is similar. Discussion regarding the art gallery owner meetup on November 14th, 2023. This is mostly just a reminder. This is what we're still doing. We have POCO.
Yeah.
As we get closer, we'll have someone go along and give out invitations. I think it works better if we do it in person. We did that with the Arts Festival. And if anybody, start thinking about that's really what you'd like to do, so you do get to meet everybody. There's quite a few of them. think it was like 12 or 13 on the map alone, so, yeah. And we had decided, just as a reminder, that it was gonna be more of a brainstorming session. Yeah.
So do we have a whiteboard or a big pad of paper?
I have flip charts if you guys want
I think it's good, just to be able to
yeah.
write
You
stuff
guys can
down
come
as
grab
people
whatever
throw it
you
out.
want. I
Well,
have
that'd be great.
markers, I have charts, yeah.
No good. Yeah, it'll be pretty casual. We did it before. Did anybody else come to the meeting that was at Artemisia? I think we had a whole different committee, yeah. That was more about getting used to the art festival. We went around. There were a lot of people there, actually.
That's good.
Yeah. And we'll have to talk about with paying Poco, I guess, to make some food and buying booze or whatever we want for people.
I think it's morning, right, so.
Oh, that's right. We tried to avoid the booze. Booze is expensive.
You can still have booze in the morning, I mean, Bloody Mary.
Champagne, yeah, you can have, yeah.
Mimosas.
Before you know it, there's a fist fight at the gallery meeting.
And then we could sell tickets, and then we would have more money in the coffers.
Hey, that kind of duct tank. That's like the best idea I've heard.
That could work.
Yeah, but food, but Poco, we'll just pick Poco to do something because we're at Poco, I guess.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything to say about that? No? I know, this is pretty easy. I thought it was going to be really hot in here, so I kind of made it.
No, we just want to sit here.
I can fix
I know, it
that for
feels
next,
great.
I can fix it for next time.
No, it's just great. We can just stay here all night.
This is really good. Now we don't want to leave.
You'll be in Maine hushed.
I'll send you a picture of me floating on there. No, actually, the first week I'll be dealing with the wedding, so.
Yeah.
I moved to vote on the rain. Item 6, discussion, brainstorming future projects. You were on there as a sense, right? The idea of like doing something collaborative across, crossing with them. With object or so we'll make sure that goes back on. Anything else coming up that anybody is thinking that we should be doing? I feel very laid back at the moment.
That's not a bad thing.
Not necessarily. It's a nice balance since last year we've lost our minds, but just a few ideas. We did used to have a Christmas party for this cigarette machine, which sounds ridiculous, but it actually was a great idea because it sold so many.
Yeah.
People would come and buy Christmas presents out of the machine.
That's cool, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's just an idea that I know that we did it a few years and then COVID kind of stopped it, so.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, December's a great time to have an event,
Yep.
Anything else that we could support or that we want to do? Well, just remember, it's always, when you're talking to people too, always remind them we do give out grants. We are at the beginning of a new fiscal year, so we have money to give out. And we did get a check out to the, oh great. So we were able to sponsor the art show during Pride,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
great, yeah.
Yeah, I went down there. Did you get to go too?
I didn't, because I'm still not mobile.
Right. They were young people, awesome.
That's great.
Great art, great vibe. They were super happy. And they were very appreciative to the Arts Commission.
Since we are in a new cycle, do we want to post that on social media? Hey, don't forget.
And we're still doing it rolling, so whenever.
Yep.
One of the, we don't have to put it on the next agenda, but one of the ideas that I did have and I wanted to bring up before I forget is that, and stop me if I already am, but I would really like to make it a policy of the Bisbee Arts Commission to buy portfolios for the senior art students every year. For those of you who were able to be there, it was just sort of delightful to give them things.
Especially awkward kids.
They were wonderful.
They were wonderful.
There were a lot of punks. It was really cute.
It was really cute.
And they were like super happy. And the art teacher had made it clear that a lot of them didn't have the money to afford those, and they were throwing their art, like they were just like scrunching their art up and putting it in their bags. And I would love to have that as an ongoing thing. It's not that expensive to do. And it really was just sort of joyful and proactive.
It was fun.
Yeah. So that would be great if we can vote on that just as a policy. We did juniors and seniors, but obviously next year they already have, we'll figure it out.
Maybe we want to start with a freshman class.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
And then they have it going in, and that encourages them to stay in art classes.
Yeah, she just said they weren't as serious in the beginning, but see, it's harder to tell, but that's not a
maybe
bad
if you
idea.
had a portfolio, you would be serious.
Yeah, you look cooler with the portfolio.
Yeah.
No. And next year too, I'd like to make sure that we get some sort of sticker or something to put on the portfolios, just so that it's a reminder, you know?
Like a little patch or something.
Yeah, like a supportive thing from us. Because they can too, as far as I understand, anybody, I mean, there's no age limit on grants. I don't really want to see a 4-year-old in here, it'd be kind of confusing, but if they have a really good proposal, that would be cute. Yeah, those are just the things I've been thinking about. Does anybody have anything else?
Well,
It got so quiet in here.
I don't know. I have something, but I'm gonna put it on the future agenda items.
It's about me.
It's not about me.
All right, well, will you email me and let me know, or email one of them if you want it on there? You're gonna be gone for 2
No, I'm
months.
gonna put it on, I'm gonna put.
Oh, you're gonna put it on, I thought you were gonna put it on future, never mind.
No.
I confused myself with my
That's
agenda
okay.
items, no. Then if nobody has that, we'll go on item 7, update discussion regarding the following SIG art machine. I'm working on the payouts right now. I'll get those to you tomorrow. I need to call Nina because I need to,
She's not gonna be in for 2 weeks.
I'll guess. I have one that I wanted to know if the receipt had come, if there was a receipt that I had missed.
We can look.
Yeah. I might, then we'll come in on Wednesday maybe and ask.
Okay.
When does it need to be on? When do you need to have it so it'll be on the next agenda?
Early Wednesday.
Maybe I'll just guess tomorrow and get it done.
Okay.
So yeah, quarterly, we pay people for the, so this is the time where I figure out all my notes. And it's nice because we made quite a bit of money, and so other people are getting their fair share. I also have the money to drive off to you on Wednesday. I think we made over 1,000, but I didn't actually even count it. I just put it terrible.
That's okay.
I'll count it count it tomorrow. The last week has been crazy, but the cigarette machine is working great. We at this time do not need any more people because we're still waiting for some spots, so that's good. And hopefully I would like to start collecting more inventory because fall just hammers you. Fall and winter, we just sell so many that it's very hard to keep up with. So I'm going to start encouraging artists to give me maybe 20 at a time if they can, because we go through so many as soon as fall starts.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, it's just endless. It's like my girlfriend or something. Except that I kick her. She does jam. Have you been getting phone calls about?
I only got the one, and I think we sent it to you, and it was
It's all
taken care
done.
of. Yep.
So about every 2 months, she gets into a tizzy and jams. That's it. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Were you
No,
able
She's
to-
an old gal.
Were you able to get the keys for the dollhouse and update the dollhouse thingies? Because I think that would help.
Sharon claims I have the key, but I don't. Yes, we can get the key from Sharon anytime. I saw her the other night. So whenever we want to, if you want to get together and we can redecorate she was all about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Some of
that
the
would
art
be
has been
good.
there a long time and we need to put all the new stuff in.
Yeah.
So yeah, just connect with me when you have some free time and we'll figure it out.
Cool.
How is social media going?
I think it's fine. I need only one commissioner's bio to share everybody.
Oh good, we got Janet left.
Just one. Which I'm actually pretty stoked about that everybody else got me there, so.
They look great too. Just as everybody knows, Holly's been putting a bio of all the art commissioners up on Instagram, and they've just been wonderful.
They get the most response out of anything I post.
Yeah.
The whole town loves it.
Good.
Well, I'll get it to you right away.
Yes, please.
And then, did you have any luck getting into the Facebook?
No.
Okay.
You said to
Still-
give it.
yeah, I still need to look at it too.
It's just because you're the admin, are you?
I'm one. I don't know. You know what? I don't know that I am on the Arts Commission one, but I will figure it out.
Nina, either you are or Nina.
Yeah, I think Nina might be. I
So
don't think
I couldn't change like main things. I could only post.
I'll look
So
right now.
somebody was an admin. And then we come to the art window.
And I have reached out to Barb multiple times and I don't ever get responses.
Let me tell you
Because
what.
it's out of city time, I guess.
Well, it's this. This is what Sharon told me. I don't know how she's still in with the art window people, but she is.
Oh, maybe I should talk to Shannon.
Talk to Sharon. A car ran into the Restoration Museum
Yes.
last year, and they've been working on that window. Huh?
Was it 1 year or 2 years? I think it might be 2 years.
Would be nice to say a year ago.
Okay.
So they've been trying to fix the window. So while they're fixing that window, they only have one window. And while they only have that one window, they don't want to give us that one window. But as soon as they have the other window fixed, they'll give us our window back.
Oh, well, I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, Sharon told me. It's funny that nobody in the Arts Commission knew, but Sharon knew, but she's friends with one of them. So what I would recommend is to talk to Sharon.
Okay.
Because she had and I think the timeline was just a couple months.
Great.
And they were more than happy to have us back. Yeah. So, and it was a nice way to do it. But,
Isn't Doug Dunn the new chair of that board? He might be a good person to talk to.
oh, that's true. I don't know. I heard that the museum had taken over the other museum board.
Oh, I don't know.
I know, that was a wild piece of gossip.
Yeah. I think that Doug Dunn, is that accurate, Ashley?
I don't know if he's on that board, but we can find out.
Okay,
For a long time, they had two people,
yeah.
and they didn't have a real board, I guess.
No,
I
I
assume you're-
think he's building, I want to say that my understanding is that he's the new chair and that he's building the board back.
Oh, that might be, and then I heard, yeah, I don't know why the other museum would take it, who knows? Annie, I can ask Annie, but do you know Doug Dunn? Well, if you see him, or if I see him, I'll flag him down and get it. Do you have his phone number?
No. I do,
Yeah.
I'll get it to you.
Yeah? Well, it'd be worth it to ask, just so that they know
Because
what.
he really wants it to be active, he's like.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He's, yeah.
That's great. So yeah, just hold on for a couple of months, and then if you want, on the next agenda, we can start talking about window ideas
Okay.
in preparation, right? We were doing those artists who were deceased. That doesn't mean we have to keep doing that. That was a real
It was
winner.
so popular,
It was a real winner with the
yeah.
community. And I mean, because of the mortality of human beings, it is sort of an endless possibility. I'm not saying here, I'm just saying in all forms. But there were a lot of people we had not yet been able to do, and there were some good ones, so. And we used it for auctions at one point too. I mean, there was all kinds of things.
It's never open, I've never been in 5 years.
Luckily, you don't have to get in the window, you just have to see it. And actually, you ever been there?
I've never been inside.
They have a beautiful textile collection.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're just never open.
Two-headed cow in the basement. I know, I've never seen it, just
They
heard
use
about it.
that on my clothes.
They're really weird about the cow. They don't want to share. No, it was in the basement for years, and people would be like, just go ask them. And somebody would ask them, and they were like, but I don't know, that was like 10 years ago. It's a different board. But they do have a two-headed cow, just if anybody needs that information. I think it's great. But they do have they have a beautiful collection of stuff.
Yeah.
Because the other museum can't have all the city stuff, so. We were talking at one point with them about building a repository. I mean, that's one thing, because we have so much art that people have collected. They didn't necessarily have the room either. That's the problem. That was one of Sharon's dreams, was a repository. Yeah. It's your time to shine. Item 8, future agenda items. But you won't be here.
I can call in,
Whatever you wanna do.
I can call in, because I'll be on the road.
Can we do call-ins?
I can do it.
I'll be on my phone.
Do it, yeah.
Well, I just thought, and maintenance of public art. I mean, maybe we do that as an agenda item.
It's a good
I
one.
think it's a good one.
It's a hard one and it's a good one.
Yeah,
Because it's something I worry about a lot.
yeah, well, there's a lot of really significant pieces in this city, and we don't want them to go by the wayside or get painted over, or, destroyed, or just weathered. So I think it's probably a decent,
I know it's something to discuss. It'd be nice to have some sort of, or help the city have some sort of policy about, fixing things, or, because right now we don't have one, right?
Not, that relates to the public art, no.
No.
I think it's you said it, I was like, why aren't, that'll take.
No, we could try, I mean, it'll take a little to figure it out, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Any other future agenda items? Can't think of anything. Anybody else?
Well,
Sure.
should we put a Christmas party for the cigarette machine as a future agenda item if we were gonna
Oh,
do
for
that?
sure, you know,
I added that.
that's why I keep on looking at her, she writes them down as I see them, she's the greatest.
I try to keep a list going.
No, but yeah, I think it'd be fun. We actually had a great time, so,
Well, the holiday party.
holiday party, for sure. And that was what, it was a cigarette holiday party. If you look back on the Bisbee Arts Commission Facebook page, I think there's a bunch of pictures.
That's super fun.
Yeah, it's a great way to remind people that it's there. Though, I mean, sometimes you're like, I don't want people to know it's there. It just is amazing how, once again, I'd like to give kudos to Sharon's idea, because it is a gift that keeps on giving.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's been a fairly silly meeting. It's your time to shine.
I move that we adjourn.
A second.
Thank you. You guys have a great night.